He's in El Salvador, and that's where the president plans on keeping him.
Well, that's Attorney General Pam Bondi speaking about a man mistakenly deported to El Salvador all the way back in April. Well, now Kilmar Abrego Garcia is back in the United States. He's facing federal criminal charges, and the Attorney General was asked Friday, what changed?
What has changed is Donald Trump is now president of the United States, and our borders are again secure. And thanks to the bright light that has been shined on Abrego Garcia, this investigation continued with actually amazing police work. And we were able to track this case and stop this international smuggling ring.
Well, as you probably already know, Donald Trump was president in April, too. The charges Abrego Garcia faces are for conspiracy to unlawfully transport illegal aliens for financial gain and unlawful transportation of illegal aliens for financial gain. But the Attorney General laid out several more allegations at her news conference. Ben Osorio is here to respond. He's a member of Abrego Garcia's legal team. Ben, welcome back to the show. I want to play more from the Attorney General here from that news conference. Let's watch.
The grand jury found that over the past 9 years, Abrego Garcia has played a significant role in an alien smuggling ring. They found this was his full-time job, not a contractor. He was a smuggler of humans and children and women. He made over 100 trips, the grand jury found, smuggling people throughout our country, MS-13 members, violent gang terrorist organization members throughout our country.
Your reaction to what you heard there?
So I think that's a mischaracterization of what the grand jury found. If you look at the actual indictment, there's a lot of allegations in there, but then the only charges that are supported regard to the 2022 stop. And if she's going to allege that there's a more enforcement on human trafficking or human smuggling now, I would note that the indictment says that this started in 2016. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump was president from 2016 to 2020, 4 of the years that they alleged that this activity was happening.
Did you know that your client was returning to the U.S., that his return was imminent?
We had heard that the grand jury proceedings were taking place in the Middle District of Tennessee. They were under seal, so we couldn't necessarily confirm. But we had been told that that was the likely result and that he would be extradited back to the United States as a result of the grand jury findings.
Let's talk about these charges, 2 criminal counts, despite all of the things that the Attorney General said at that news conference. As I said, conspiracy to unlawfully transport illegal aliens for financial gain and unlawful transportation of illegal aliens for financial gain. Abrego Garcia's wife said back in April that her husband transported groups of workers between job sites. Did those workers pay him? Did the employers pay him? Is there a direct line from his knowledge of their status in the country, his being paid to drive them from their homes to a job site, and supporting one of these criminal charges?
So I guess I want to be clear about a couple of things here. One, we only represent him on his immigration proceedings. He's currently been appointed a federal public defender to represent him on the criminal charges. 2, I am not a criminal. That's not my practice area. I practice only immigration. I did review the indictment, kind of see the allegations and the charges themselves, so I can answer sort of basic lawyer questions, but I really defer to his criminal counsel to answer what he knows, what he doesn't know. The last thing I would say is we are just going to be able to speak with him for the first time this weekend. So we've not had an opportunity yet to discuss the facts, to discuss his history with him and whether there's any veracity to these allegations. What was the nature of that stop on 2022? What was he doing? So we just haven't had that opportunity yet.
I appreciate the clarity there. There was this resignation from the chief of the criminal division of the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Tennessee. His name's Ben Schrader. Let's put up the statement that he posted on social media at about the time of the grand jury indictment. He said, "It has been an incredible privilege to serve as a prosecutor with the Department of Justice, where the only job description I've ever known is to do the right thing in the right way for the right reasons." And sources now tell CNN that this resignation is related to this indictment of your client. Your reaction to that, and what role will this play, if any, moving forward in the case?
Well, I think the timing of both the indictment and the resignation says it all. I mean, it implies that these charges were brought for political reasons and not really in the interest of justice. So again, I hope that Mr. Abrego Garcia gets all the due process in his criminal proceedings that he didn't get in the episode he just went through and being returned to a country he had protection from. So, I think it's very obvious on its face that this is a political move, and that's why these charges are being brought now.
And as you are his immigration attorney, the Attorney General says that if he's convicted, of course, he will serve his sentence in the U.S. and then be deported. Will that be deported back to El Salvador, where the immigration judge initially said that he could not be deported because of concerns about persecution?
I think that there's going to be great implications from the results of the criminal case on his immigration status. Right now, he still currently enjoys that protection from being removed to El Salvador. However, there is a process if the government wants to go through it. Again, that's what this whole thing has been about, due process. If you want to remove him to El Salvador, you can reopen his immigration case, remove his withholding protection, and then try to send him to El Salvador. If you want to try to remove him to a third country, you have the right to do that. Nobody's saying that, but we're saying you have to go through the correct process. If you want to convict somebody of murder, you have a trial to do that. We don't immediately shoot them upon arrest. That's not how our Constitution works.
Ben Osorio, thanks so much.